Alright, so in this problem, I have x to the power of x to the power of 5 is equal to 100. So to solve this, I'm going to start by taking the power of 5 on both sides. So now I have x to the power of x to the power of 5 to the power of 5 is equal to 100 to the power of 5. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is the same thing as a to the power of m times n. And a to the power of m times n, that's the same thing as a to the power of n times m. We can switch the places of these two. Now, if a to the power of m times n is equal to a to the power of m to the power of n, then this means that a to the power of n times m, this must equal a to the power of n to the power of m. And because all of these are equal to each other, this means that a to the power of m to the power of n is equal to a to the power of n to the power of m. So over here, we have x to the power of x to the power of 5 to the power of 5, and we can think of x to the power of 5 as m and 5 as n. So if I switch those two places, I get x to the power of 5 to the power of x to the power of 5 is equal to 100 to the power of 5. Now 100, I'm going to rewrite that as 10 squared. So now I have x to the power of 5 to the power of x to the power of 5 is equal to 10 squared to the power of 5. And this is the same thing as x to the power of 5 to the power of x to the power of 5 is equal to 10 to the power of 10. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of a is equal to b to the power of b, this means that a is equal to b. So x to the power of 5 is equal to 10, meaning x is equal to the fifth root of 10. Alright, so in this problem, I have 2 to the power of x plus y minus 2 to the power of x is equal to 120. So obviously, I want to find the values of both x and y for this. So for my solution, I'm going to first start by using the property of exponents that states that a to the power of m plus n, this is the same thing as a to the power of m times a to the power of n. Meaning 2 to the power of x plus y, I can rewrite this as 2 to the power of x times 2 to the power of y, and I have this minus 2 to the power of x is equal to 120. Now, I'm going to go ahead and factor out 2 to the power of x from this equation, from my left-hand side. So now I have 2 to the power of x times, now 2 to the power of x times 2 to the power of y divided by 2 to the power of x, simply just 2 to the power of y, and negative 2 to the power of x divided by 2 to the power of x is negative 1. So this is equal to 120. Now, 120, this is the same thing as 8 times 15. And notice how 2 to the power of x, this is going to result in an even number because 2 to the power of any number is going to be even. And 2 to the power of y minus 1, well, an even number minus 1 is going to be an odd number. 2 to the power of y is going to be an even number, and an even number minus 1 is an odd number. So this is even, this is odd. And notice how 8, this is even, and 15, this is odd. So I have an even number times an odd number is equal to an even number times an odd number. So this means that both the even numbers are equal to each other. So 2 to the power of x is equal to 8. And both the odd numbers are equal to each other. So 2 to the power of y minus 1 is equal to 15. So let's first start by solving 2 to the power of x equals 8. So 8, this is the same thing as 2 to the power of 3. So now I have 2 to the power of x is equal to 2 to the power of 3. And this means that x is equal to 3. Now for 2 to the power of y minus 1, I can add 1 on both sides. So I get 2 to the power of y equals 16. 16 is 2 to the power of 4. So I have 2 to the power of y is equal to 2 to the power of 4. So this means that y equals 4. So my value of x is 3 and my value of y is 4. Alright guys, so in this problem, I have x minus 1 squared is equal to x squared. So to solve this, I actually have two different methods of solving this problem. So for method 1, I'm going to start by rewriting x minus 1 squared as x minus 1 times x minus 1, and I have this is equal to x squared. And now, x minus 1 times x minus 1, let's go ahead and expand this. So x times x is x squared, x times negative 1 is negative x. Now I'm going to distribute the negative 1. Negative 1 times x is negative x, and negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. So this is equal to x squared. Now I can subtract x squared on both sides. So then these two cancel out, and these two cancel out. So now I have negative x minus x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now negative x minus x is negative 2x. So I have negative 2x plus 1 is equal to 0. Meaning now I can add 2x on both sides. So then these two cancel out, and I get 2x is equal to 1. Meaning x is equal to 1/2. Now, my second method for solving this problem if I have something in the form a squared minus b squared, this is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So our equation is x minus 1 squared is equal to x squared. So I can actually subtract x squared on both sides. So now I have x minus 1 squared minus x squared is equal to 0. And now notice how this is in the form a squared minus b squared. A is x minus 1 and b is x. So now I have x minus 1 plus x times x minus 1 minus x is equal to 0. So x minus 1 plus x, that's the same thing as 2x minus 1 times x and negative x, these two cancel out, so negative 1 is equal to 0. So now if I divide both sides by negative 1, these two cancel out, and I get 2x minus 1 is equal to 0, meaning 2x is equal to 1, and x is equal to 1/2. That's my second method.